All right, so here we are with another episode of Minecraft. We are going to be kind of puttering around our base a little bit this time, doing some check-ins with the trial chambers and a couple of our other projects around here, and in general, kind of taking things a little bit more relaxed as we try and recover from the adventure that we had a couple weeks back with losing all of our gear to the ultimate boss. So while we do that, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So I decided that I wanted to upgrade my helmet. As you can see, it's been quite damaged, so I had gone over to get some gear for upgrading my helmet, mainly putting mending on it. And while I did that, I happened to fly over my shoulder boxes and realized that I could use that to help take some of my gear that I had gotten from the trial chambers back to the main base. So all the stuff that I have in the actual main box and some other stuff. I then decided to take some of the enchanting books that I had. So this one was Aqua, Affinity, and Respiration, and put those on my helmet. And in order to do that, I needed to get some levels, so I popped over to the Blaze Farm. Then once I had done that, I decided that it was time to pop back over to the water temple that we'd kind of been neglecting for a little while. I got a little bit bogged down from the repetitiveness of all of the breaking of the sand and placing it and breaking it and the sponges and all that, so I decided that I kind of needed to take a break. And conveniently, that was also around when the trial chambers came back, so it kind of helped. I mean, I took my summer off again this year, but it was mainly some of it. Anyways, so we kind of worked our way on getting just a little bit further on this. I would like to eventually, as I always say, get it to where I can use prismarine, because obviously prismarine lands right in the color palette of everything that I build, leaning more on like blue turquoisey colors, but mainly it's the fact that I would like to have this finished. I think I'm going to have to, once it's all said and done, add an extra ring to it, because I think the circle that I made this based off of is slightly off, because I'm just looking in the background and I can just see the general distance I have from the temple and the wall on this side, and I feel like it's much closer on the other side, so you might have to do some actual adjustments when it's all finished, but for the most part, it's not too bad. I'm pleased with the fact that I've been able to get kind of far in it. I'm like not quite halfway, a third of the way through it. I do really hate having to fight the guardians all the time, because it just makes it so annoying to get anything done, but sometimes it's nice at night because they're not as annoying. I say as I was sitting here getting hit, but it's fine. We'll get it figured out eventually, and it's not that bad. I am glad that I did end up going to those other water temples to get some more sponges, because if you missed it or not, this one didn't have any sponge rooms, so I ended up having to go to a couple other places. It did cost us our boots, so I don't know if I'll fully forgive them for that, but something along those lines. Once I did that, I decided that I kind of wanted to have easier access to a prismarine or a geode or whatever, and so I decided that I was going to go to the one that's kind of a little bit below our main base area and dig our way up so that we could have a path to and from fairly easily. How I ended up doing this was a little bit probably counterintuitive, but either way, we made our path and it worked pretty well. At one point I did pop out and I was in water, but thankfully I was high enough up that it wasn't a big issue. I wish this one was a little bit closer. I was pretty certain that there was one in the actual lake that's by the base, but then when I went and I looked at it again, there wasn't one under there. So I guess I must have just thought the one that was pretty far down, which I am currently making the path to, was the one that worked, but I guess I didn't. I do need to double check to make sure that this isn't like an issue where I'll like drown or something, because that would be really unfortunate if I went to all this trouble and then just proceeded to drown if I ever went down it. So we'll see how that ends up turning out, but either way, it's not too far. And then once I was finished with that, I decided I was going to go back to the trial chambers because I am a glutton for punishment. And for some reason, I just like doing stuff in the trial chambers. I don't know why I have so much fun doing these ones. They're so much different than spawners. Maybe it's because they turn off and give you rewards. I don't know. Either way, I have too much fun with them. So I quickly went around and I made sure that I got some slabs this time. And I actually thought through the process of placing them a little bit more because I wanted to kind of block them from being filled or being attacked by them. So I kind of created these little boxes around the spawners because then I figured that would be a pretty good method for me to be able to get the mobs and not completely get destroyed whilst doing them. And I do eventually swap some of these slabs at the front for trap doors just so that I can get the goodies from it. But I did at one point change the spacing on this one a little bit. And I didn't quite get it right, but it's fine. So as you can see, it actually works pretty well in the sense that it keeps the mobs inside in the general area. I also thought about swapping some of the spawning blocks out for magma blocks, or the blocks around the spawner, so that they would also get injured that way. Or, ooh, this is a great idea. I'm glad we came up with this. Maybe put like hoppers down or something like that. But hoppers, I would need slabs, and then they wouldn't be able to spawn on it. We'll think about it. We'll workshop it. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll have to think about this. But this is the blaze one, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the blaze ones will spawn even when I don't have or even when I have all the slabs down, they kind of spawn a little bit outside of it, so that's a little bit strange. Anyways, I ran out of the slabs, so I had to go get some more, and then I decided that maybe I was going to do something daring and take one of the not Omni, I don't know why I keep on wanting to say Omni Geode or something like that. Anyways, because that's one of the blocks or whatever. Anyways, finish up all of these little chambers, and then I was going to drink some of the take some of the Omnius potion. I don't know. I've said Omnius too many times that it now no longer sounds right, but I can't think of what else to call it. So we're just gonna go with it. Anyways, so I figured that this would be a pretty good test run to see if it works. And I wanted to make sure, though, obviously, we're going to put our chest plate on and then drink the last of our Omni us. Still feels weird. Don't know what it is. Potion, as you can see, which worked out pretty well in this sense, except, oh my goodness, look, I did it wrong, and he was able to get over me, and I was like, no, we are not doing this again. We are not losing all of our gear to the little baby husk again. I cannot go through this again. It was traumatic the last time, but we left our trusty little boat, and look, guys, he couldn't make it up, and so we hit him, and then he landed in the boat, and wow, that was so much easier than the last time we did it. It was insane. So, made it. And then this breeze kind of came all the way up here, which I thought was a little bit weird, but it was fine because we were able to get him anyways. But I was pretty excited about the fact that we were able to take out the little baby husk, and I will, for here on out, forever and always make sure that that boat is in that spot. Otherwise, we're things could happen. But that does mean that I need to adjust this one a little bit so that we don't accidentally lose all of our gear again because I accidentally got the spacing wrong. So yeah, and then I can like pop this door open and then go in there and get all of our stuff. The one thing that's funny when I do this for the breezes is the fact that they will like shoot their little projectiles, which pops the door open. But thankfully these guys have issues enough that they can't actually work their way through it. But yeah, so overall this worked pretty well. I didn't get any of the really fancy blue keys, so I'm a little concerned about that because I also looked it up and discovered that you can't reuse the vaults after they've been unlocked, which means I would have to go and find another trial chamber. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. But that's a problem for another day. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.